It's all still one.
Flex, you can hear us? What's up, man? How you doing? We trying to get you up. Hold on 1 second.
How about now? How about now?
Yeah, you can hear us?
Yep.
Okay, so I was just telling our viewers and listeners that we had to do a little technical thing in the background to make sure everything was good. So the delay is probably like a second or two.
Okay.
I'ma just make sure that my co-host and my DJ could, hear you and we could hear them. PREZ, okay. What's up, man? How you doing, PREZ?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. I can hear you well. We here. Flex, what's up?
You can hear PREZ?
What's up? Yes. What up, PREZ?
Okay, hello. Epidemic, chime in.
Yeah, I can hear. What up, man?
Okay, so right now, let's give you the proper introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Fix Show, DTF Radio for the first time ever. Actor, comedian, DJ extraordinaire, Mr. Flex Alexander is in the building. Let's clap it up, y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. Oh, man. Flex, what's up, boy? How you doing?
Man, everything is good, man. Can't complain, brother. How y'all doing, man?
We good, man. We out here in New York, about to enjoy this cold weather. I know you in the West Coast enjoying that great weather. You got the golf outfit on. You got the golf outfit on.
No golf today. I just worked out today. That's it, man. Okay, but it started getting cold back there yet? I thought
you see the hoodies on. We out here.
I thought it was like in the 70. You know what I mean? Somewhere around there. You ain't getting that.
Not yet. Not at night. Not that cool. Once that sun drop, it's over. It's like
yeah. I remember them days. I'm from the boogie down, so I remember them days.
Dope. Right. Crazy. You forgot dancer, man. I looked up some. It said Flex was a dancer too, man.
We was gonna get to that. We was gonna get to all that. It hasn't done that in a long time, so I couldn't really.
No, that's not current. I'm not a dancer now. That was many years ago.
Right. I just didn't want to go out there and say it and make it a part of the big intro. He looked at me crazy like, man.
That's part of the history, man. That's what opened the doors for me, man. That's what really opened me into the business. It's starting off dancing and choreographing for a lot of groups, and obviously Salt and Pepper for a long time, choreographing for them, and just getting that experience, and then that went on into stand up, and then on into to acting and everything. So dancing is always going to be part of my history, man. With the legendary, I was original Mop Top group member. My brother Stretch, Loose Leaf, Loose Joints, Henry, Ejo, rest in peace, Voodoo Ray. A bunch of us, man. We really set the tone for New York dancing and choreography across the world.
Right, man. We was going kind of like, we had a whole thing mapped out. We was going to ask you some questions.
It's cool. You can It's all right.
Oh man. One thing I gotta say, man. Flex Alexander, he's here, man. Like I said, I had to add DJ extraordinaire at the end because, like I told our team here at the studio, you came on Instagram during the pandemic, and almost I think before D Nice, or around the same time. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was before. But you know, you was doing your thing with your wife. Shout out to your wife, Shawnice. Big up to her. And you guys made an impact on social media as well too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think I gotta tip my hat off to you because you know I feel like you guys should have got more props for doing what y'all did. You know, y'all did it in the late night. I say late night because out here in the East Coast, y'all was up like 3, 4 in the morning, 2 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
It was you know, I actually started going online probably like in 2016. I was doing it every Thursday. I would do it once a week. Because you know, I was new to it, you know, I started learning, I had somebody teaching me around 2014, 2015, and I love music. My background is music. My background is dance. I was a b-boy, break dancer, a popper. So it's in my system. So I would never disrespect the DJ profession. I had the utmost respect for it. Grandmaster Flash and Jazzy Jeff and, you know, all of those dudes, man. D-Nice included, DJ Scratch, my brother DJ Basil, like, you know, a lot of the legends and Epidemic. You know, I've you know, watched you, and you know, I'll be watching from the back, you know, Clue and all those cats, man. I mean, from New York, you got to be in tune with all of that, and I would go on once a week just to you know, I was learning, and then obviously when the pandemic hit, we just jumped up, and I was like, yo, I'm just gonna go online. Because mentally, man, I was like, what is going on? What's going to happen? And wifey, it wasn't even unplanned. She just stepped behind me and started dancing, and that's what it became. You know, she was my hype lady, and for me, it's never, you know, no competition or anything. You know, D-Nice is my brother. He's sent many of his, you know, Club Quarantine people over to us, and vice versa. So it's been nothing but love, and you know, I don't make it any more than that. I actually was on his live last month. I went to his crib and got in the back, and I was his hype dancer and stuff. So I think what has happened for him was amazing, and I think it has definitely changed the scope for DJs, and I think everyone has something that is for them, like. You know, not saying you couldn't, but it's like if you turn around and say, man, then I'm gonna hit the stage and do some comedy, or if like PREZ said, you know, I'm gonna start dancing, or Epidemic said, you know, I'm gonna go and be an actor. You know, everybody has what's for them, and I just believe that the universe had that for D-Nice, and that's what it is, man. I'm just happy to be a part of it. I was happy to be able to help people, because we got a lot of people that said, yo, that helped me get through. You know what I mean? Because I mean, shoot, man, when we would be on there 5-6 hours. We was going on 3 days a week and on the weekend, just going in. And that's when, you know, we connected, and it was like, it was every other day, you know, 5-6 hours, literally finishing and being sore from dancing, you know, bopping up and down, because, you know, I'm a little older, so.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, man, I tell you, man, you know, I always tuned into you. Always, you know, you always show love. We actually had a little interview on my page in the beginning of the pandemic after I came out of being sick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I remember.
It's crazy because I will never forget it, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I got the video on my Instagram. I saved it. I couldn't even believe that you tuned into me when I DJ and when I used to do my thing. And
yeah,
you know, the compliment you gave me after I came out the hospital, man. That took my, you know what I'm saying? That took my spirit all the way up, man. So so I appreciate you being cool with me. You know, we met at Toka Tuesdays. We met at Toka Tuesdays.
Yes, sir.
Years ago.
Yes,
you know
sir.
Years ago.
Yeah, I gotta tell a quick story about that. So God rest his soul, man, Voodoo. So
shout out to him and family.
Yeah, when I would come to New York, I would always hit up Voodoo because he knew what was going on. And he was like, yo, man, you know, Toka Tuesday, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. And I hit him. I was like, matter of fact, I was in New York, and I was like, yo, what's going on? He said, Toka Tuesday. I said, yo, I said, what? I said, they got a taco truck outside? Like, what? I was like, what is that? He was like, Doka Tuesday, not Taco Tuesday. and I told him, I said, my bad. I still got the text, man. I said, my bad, bro. I said I had a couple of shots of Patron, so I'm a little off.
Right. That's funny, man. But, you know, ever since we met then, man, you've always been cool with me. You've always been in touch,
Yes,
man. You've been a real dude with me, man. So I definitely had to get you on this platform to shine light on you and everything that you've done for the people through this pandemic. I had to, man. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Let's talk a little bit about, because we got some time. So let's talk a little bit about your history in TV. Like you've accomplished a lot in your TV career. You're actually an award winner. You know what I'm saying? You've won a lot of awards for TV. You know, to BT and other companies you've won awards through. How was that life like being on TV as opposed to doing an actual big screen movie that came out in the theaters?
I've won a few awards, but I've been nominated. I was nominated by the NAACP. I never won with them, but to be, you know, nominated and recognized is dope. But when I got into TV, man, I got into television in 1991 with a show called the Uptown Comedy Club, which we shot right on 125th and 5th Avenue, right there in Harlem. And then my buddy got a show in 1992 called Where I Live. It was a comedian named Dougie Doug from Brooklyn. And we were actually really close friends. And we had the same management. They was like, hey, man, we're doing this showcase at City College, and these people are flying out from LA to see Doug, and we want to put all our people on. So they put everybody on. They saw me. They liked me. But I had to read for it. I had to prove that I could do it. So I got the material, read. They said, yo, we want to fly into LA. They brought me out to LA. I was only supposed to be here a couple of days. I ended up being here 2 weeks. And I literally was against hundreds of dudes. And now I'm in the room, and I'm seeing dudes that I see on TV. I'm seeing like dudes from the Cosby Show, and I'm like, yo, like I ain't got no chance. But I was like, I'm gonna go in there and give it everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I'm for the projects, and I'm gonna just give it everything. So I ended up getting the role, and that really started it right there, man. Just so I would fly back. Once I got that show, I would rehearse all week, shoot, fly out Friday night on the red eye, get to New York Saturday, go straight to 125th Street, rehearse, shoot all day Sunday, fly out Sunday night, back Monday, get a cab straight to Disney Studios to shoot Where I Live, which you know, I could do because I was 22 years old, so it didn't bother me. But the as far as the you know, juxtaposition to film is I love film. Film is, you know, you can take your time a little more. It's a little more intense. But the great thing about television is, you know, that's a check every week. So if you get a show, picked up, say for 22 episodes, that's how it used to be. And say you make it $75,000 an episode, you know, you times that by 22, that's lovely. Unless you're in the upper echelon of film, you know, and you're not in the millions, you know, you make some thousands, which is cool. You can make, you know, anywhere from 50,000 up. Just depends on the film. If it's an independent film, depending on your credits, or how agent or your attorneys, how hard they fight for you. It just depends. You know, I love both, but TV I love because TV is a little more security because, you know, you're working. But both mediums I think are great. And with now all the mediums we have out there, all the platforms, all the streaming, and all of the major networks now getting into streaming, realizing that, you know, major networks are great, but we're leading to a streaming future. You know, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Peacock, Paramount Plus, they have all of these places that you can get content, and no matter what you in, whether it's you DJing, whether it's you acting, whether it's whatever, content is king. And if you can build that content, and you got a place to take it, that's what you need.
Right. Now going into your, you mentioned, you know, the streaming companies, Hulu, Netflix, and all that. It's a two-part question actually. So you weren't on just one TV show, you were also part of the Parkers. You made like a guest appearance on the Parkers, right?
Oh yeah.
You made a couple of guest appearances in other shows. How did the second part to? Well, I guess this is just one question. The first question is, how did you feel, and were you involved in the negotiations with one-on-one going to Netflix, or did you just know, like somebody told you, or you knew about it? What happened with that situation?
Well, as far as the guest appearances, I had already pitched one-on-one, hired a showrunner, so we were already developed. I created the show, even though, like, when you see the credits, it's created by Unetta T. Boone, who was, God rest her soul, she passed away last year, but she was an accredited show writer. I hadn't written any shows, and I hadn't at that time. I didn't know about registering your idea, so I didn't know about that. So she wrote it, and the guild recognized that. But I created the show, and I came up with the show, and it was originally at ABC, and then we ended up there. But doing the guest spots was my idea. I also played Darnell on Girlfriends. I played one of the husbands on Girlfriends because I spoke to the head of the network. I said, hey, until we get closer to shooting my joint, let me just get on some things so I can get my face back out there and let people, because people hadn't really seen me since I did Homeboys in Outer Space, and then I did a 1 hour drama with Jim Belushi on Channel 7. So I said, let me get back out there. So he said, okay, cool. Called over there. It's like, all right, you're going to do Girlfriends. The Parkers jumped on there. So I was just making those lateral moves so that people could see my face again. And then when the show hit, it was like, oh, boom, now we got his own show. So that part for that. Now, the second part with Netflix, no, I didn't have anything to do with it going to Netflix. It was as a movement called Strong Black Lead. And they went hard for shows like mine and even Girlfriends and the Parkers and all of those shows to get a rebirth on Netflix. And it was so powerful. We got a whole new audience. Like, I got a younger audience and people that hadn't seen the show, tuning in. And then now the people who came up with the show got to watch it again, and it's still killing on Netflix. And we're in talks now for a reboot. So I'm just, staying focused on that, and hoping that goes well. Once we finalize and we get there, I'll let you know. But we're at least in talks for it because it's time. People have been asking for a long time. Every time, no matter, on all my social media, everybody's like, "Yo, what's up with that reboot? Yo, we hated the way that ended. Yo, come on, man! Like, that remix show, that was terrible." And so, we're going to correct all that, if we get the opportunity.
Nice, I want to say real quick, congratulations on that, first of all.
Right.
And second of all, I I grew up watching all of those shows. Me and my sisters, we would go, and I got sisters. I grew up with girls, so I watched them Moesha's. I watched the Girlfriends. I want to say, so when we first saw you, of course, I think I made your appearance when I first saw you was on Girlfriends. And then the Parkers and the other little appearances. And again, you did exactly what you said for us at that time. You made your appearances in those spaces, and then when you came up with your own show, it did what it did. Like, we was like, I was excited. Me and myself, of course, my sister, that time. But you went in with your name. With Flex Alexander. So was that part of, was somebody pitched for that role when you wrote it, or when you came up with the idea, or were you saying, I'm going in as myself?
Yeah, that was me the whole time. I was going to be me. Obviously, we used Washington. We changed a few things, and Dwayne, my best friend Kelly Perrine on the show, was named after my brother that passed away. We had Reagan Preston Gomez, who played my sister, which is my sister Bernadette. And Marcus Houston, when he came on before we did the spinoff, The Cuts, he played Kevin. Kevin is my older brother. So I always had, something in there with my family. And then I was able to get my cousin on the show. He had to audition. He played Big Ace on the show. And he actually was in a rap group back in the day called Trends of Culture, a song called Off and On, and Valley the Skins, and he was down with that whole native tongue and all them cats. So I was able to reach back and go, okay, hey man, I got this going, come in but I just had to explain to cats, I can't give you nothing. You got to come in here. You got to earn it.
Right.
Yeah, you got to work for it. Yeah. So, yeah.
One more thing, Flex is obviously, now that I think about it, when you say you came, because I was wondering, like, okay, so your name is Mark, so where did you get to play? But then you say that you was a dancer, b-boy. Does that stem from that?
Exactly. It came from being flexible and loose. My boy Stretch, Buddha Stretch, he's the one who gave me my name. We were trying to figure out a name. Like it's coming up with all kind of weirdness. I was like, yeah, Sandman. I could pull sand out my pocket, put it on the floor and slide. And he was just like, yo, you be doing like bending. He said, just flex. I was like, yeah, I like that. And actually for a while, I just went by Flex. And then I added Alexander. And, I said, and there's been times I was like, you know what, I'm just going to drop that and just, go and use my regular name. And my wife is like, what are you doing? People know that. And my agent's like, what are you doing? Just leave it. I'm like, yeah, but you'd be 70 years old, like, ladies and gentlemen, starring Flex at 70. I'm like, so yeah, man, it stuck, man. It was a name that stuck, and, I just used it. And I was the original Flex. No knock on Funkmaster, but I was Flex before anybody was Flex. I was Flex.
Just for the record, I gotta say this just for the record. Wikipedia didn't say Flex. They said you were acrobatic.
No, Wikipedia puts Wikipedia puts what they want. So I don't know. Yeah, but no, I wasn't acrobatic at all. I was just flexible in my moves, and I could do full splits and go all that stuff, man. All that stuff.
Right. Now talking about Wikipedia actually got you on there as a AAACP, NAACP award winner for 3 years in a row. They got
I was nominated 3 years in a row.
They said you won. I'm gonna send you a screenshot. You want me to send you a screenshot?
I believe you. That's the danger about Wikipedia. People go there for source info. It's not accurate. Like, because literally you can put in there what you want. I've never put anything in Wikipedia at all. And the only reason why even my real name is out there is because when I did Juice, I was originally up for the role of Q that Omar Epps got. It was down to myself and him, Khalil Kane for Raheem, and there was another kid that came in for Raheem. He was the one that was robbing the store that EPMD was in, the bar. He came in. It was like 8 of us left, two guys for each role, and we literally were auditioning for like 3 days, man. We were going in and out, back and forth. They were switching us up, getting chemistry. And I remember I knew when Tupac was different, who ended up being, one of my coolest friends, man. And I'm so mad because while he was in jail, we wrote each other. And when I moved, I lost the letters. But he was a cool dude, man. And when I realized he was different, this was the first project that I had ever went out as an actor for. They came to the Uptown Comedy Club and they saw me and they said, yo, hey, we got this little movie called Juice. We want you to come audition. So it's the first thing ever. So I got down to the wire. But when we were in the room, and it's the scene where Omar is at the school and he's opening his locker and he's blowing the dust off the books, and then he closes it and Bishop is right there. And then that scene, we did it. And then I'm like, yeah, you crazy. And he was like, yo, you know what? You're right. I am crazy. Something. And then he said, partner. And in the room, he smacks me on the ass like, partner. And I start laughing, you know what I mean? Because I'm not in character. I'm thinking, we out in the hall, like laughing and joking, but he was locked in. And that was part of who Bishop was. And that's when I realized, I said, that dude is different. And we went at it for 3 days. And then they took us to dinner, and then I ended up, not getting a role, but they liked me and they said, yo, we got this little part for you as a DJ contestant with Queen Latifah. And I already knew live from, dancing and being in the business. And I remember she told me, she said, all right, don't you make me look stupid. I was like, all right, look, I'm going to give you the line, the funny line. and I would sit back. So that's where that came from. When I was like, "F you," she was like, "You might have a chance. It wasn't so small." You know, I helped her with that. But as small as that role was, it's memorable as heck, man. Like people come up to me all the time. They be like, yo, your mix is whack. And I'm just like, yo, that's crazy, that little role. So that was my first thing in film was that.
So talk about that part. And I think I asked you this before on Instagram, but I want the viewers and everybody who's gonna chime in to this after we upload it, you know, into YouTube and everything.
Yeah.
Who do you think would have won in that DJ battle with you and Q? If you would have battled Q.
I mean, I wasn't even DJing back then. I don't think he was either. I think that he learned how to put his hands on it, but I don't think either one of us was DJing. So he probably would have won because I wouldn't think about DJing at all at the time. So I would not have been a good contestant at that time.
right, man. Would you say that was one of your top accomplishments doing that movie right there with such an all-star cast?
Not top, but I think it was definitely a great beginning for me. You know what I mean? Omar's still a great friend today, and you know, we see each other. It's crazy now as grown men and having families and all that stuff. It's you know, I'm just thankful that, you know, we're all still good friends, and I just you know, it happened the way it was supposed to happen, but I'm thankful for that. You know, I'm always appreciative, man. I've never been an ungrateful cat. Like I said, coming from where I come from, you know, and I'm sure all of us on here can relate. Coming up in the NY, man, it ain't no easy cake, yo, at all.
Right.
And to the fact that I made it to that point, I was just happy because I wasn't hustling no more like I was back in the day when I thought that was the way, you know.
Right. Real quick, I want to open up the floor for our DJ Epidemic, to ask you a question or two, if you don't mind. Epidemic,
yeah, I was waiting. I was like, yo, what's that? Epidemic?
He's quiet. This way you do.
Epidemic is just quiet over it.
He don't say much, man. He don't say much. Quiet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, I've actually been following you since 101. My pops actually told me who you are, and from then it was like, oh, I follow this guy, because like you said, you danced. When I was young, I danced as well. I was always into Beat Street, all those movies, even the Juice. So like when it came down to it, like from when I first seen Juice and the battle with Q, that was my inspiration. All right, I want to be in the music industry. I want to be a DJ. And from there, it went on to like, oh, that's the same guy that was on Juice, but now you got the TV show. Then I was like, then at that point in time, that's when I said, all right, I want to be a creator. So now what I do, I became a creator, and I like to edit, shoot video, and I get my hands on to create. I've got credits with producers from the reggae world, Diplo. So it's like that came from just the inspiration of just seeing you on TV and seeing more of my family members.
That's dope. That's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, keep creating, man. Keep doing that, man. That's what that's what we're supposed to do, man. And you know, I feel honored that, you know, if you know, I was an inspiration in any way to that, I'm honored for that, because guess what? There were people who inspired me. You know, there were a lot of people who inspired me. I got to sit up and watch, and even when I see them today, I've been able to work with some legends. I got to work with, Danny Glover, James Earl Jones, Gary Coleman, all these people, Bernadette Stannis, I got to meet her. All these people I don't take lightly, because they broke the door down for us. Those were the people who weren't getting paid what they should have been getting paid back then. Those are the people who had to fight through just you know, all the stuff that we don't have to go through now. I mean, we still fight, but it's better than it was. So you know, I'm thankful if, you know, if I was an inspiration, but those people inspired me, and I got a chance to be around people like Martin Lawrence. You know, I got to open for him. I got to watch Chris Rock early on. Dave Chappelle, I used to run with him hard in New York. We used to hit the Boston Comedy Club. Comedy Cellar, Uptown Comedy Club, everywhere. I got to really learn. I got to talk to people like Will Smith and people that really drop jewels and stuff that I took, I held, and then I tried to pass on. Now it's just depending on who wants to listen, because this generation is a little different because they know it all. You know, even with my son, I be trying to tell him stuff. He's like, "Yo, yeah, okay, Dad, no, but I'm gonna do this right here." And I'm like, "Okay, all right, okay, cool. Do what you do." But as parents, you gotta let them fall on their face and just be there, you know, to help them.
Right. Back in the day, we used to get the shit smacked out of us when we did that, right?
Oh, listen, man. Man, let me tell you. Back in the day, it was child abuse. They would call it child abuse today.
Right.
They don't know nothing about that extension cord at all.
Right.
That's a fact.
I know about that Nintendo. I know about that Nintendo controller cord.
Yeah. Or I used to have the racetrack back in the days. You pull off a piece of that racetrack and knock you upside your ass.
That's the switch outside. Of the trend. Go get your own switch too. Go find one. Don't come back with no skinny one either.
Yes, sir. That's right.
So Flex, moving on to your acting career, right? Because I kind of like I want to find out some stuff, and I'm pretty sure our viewers and fans of yours who are logged in right now want to know, like, what are some of the movies that you auditioned for that people would never know because you probably didn't get the part, but you auditioned for it? Like, are there any like movies that you went out for that you didn't get the part in?
I can remember a few. I think Love Jones. What was the other one? God dog it, what was it called? Something the Brothers. It was with Shamar Moore, D.L. Hewley, Bill Bellamy. I forget who else.
Oh, the brothers.
That one. I didn't get that one. Gosh, I can't. And there wasn't a lot of them. It was a handful because around that time I was doing a lot of television, so I couldn't even get out. They wouldn't even let me out to do anything unless the project landed during my hiatus, which a lot of the times it didn't. And at that time, early on, I was still doing stand-up, so I would use that hiatus to do stand-up. Let me see. Blue Bloods, I was the actual original partner to Donnie Wahlberg. We shot the pilot, shot in Toronto and New York. And then I was excited. We were in New York shooting, and one of the producers like, hey, you can call the locations guy so he can help you get a place. And I was excited because I knew Blue Bloods. I'm like, yeah, that's my retirement right there. And they ended up, going with a different way and bringing in a female partner for him, Jennifer Esposito. They brought in a Latin chick and who had done great work. And, and I can understand, she's been in it for a while, but that ended up not panning out. And, that was the first time that I had shot a pilot and didn't stay on the cast. So that hit me hard. And it was at a time where I was in between. One-on-One had ended. Things were kind of slow, and I was trying to figure out the next move, and that came up. And I had to fight for that role because CBS, they were just like, he's a comedian, he's funny, we don't see him dramatically. And I literally went in there probably about 6 or 7 times. And that's back when you had to do your testing in front of the network and the studio. So I'm in this little room that's almost like a stadium seating. It's like 12, 14 people in there, and I just had to do my thing. And then even after that, they wanted one more time for me to go on the tape and do it again. And after I did it the last time, I got it. So that was probably that affected me for a little while because I just was like, man, this would have been perfect. This is a perfect time to rebound. And that was right during when we had that collapse in 2008, 2009. So we had gone through a lot financially. I had a lot of property and, lost it all. And I tried to hold on to it, and I'm pulling out of savings, and I'm trying to hold on to it because I know real estate, you could pass that down, and I wanted wealth to be passed down to my kids. And it didn't work out that way. So that stung a little bit, but I rebounded and just kept going. And then we ended up doing a reality show, which I didn't initially want to do, but my wife wanted to do it. But at that time I said, hey, well, we have a story. We have something to talk about now, which is what we went through, which a lot of entertainers and people in public eye wouldn't want to talk about it. I was like, yo, I'm gonna be real. I'm like, yo, it should get hard sometime. And yeah, you lose stuff. And we just like the everyday person. We just got a different job. And I'm not gonna front. And we had a lot of people in the industry, and never say names, who came up to me and was like, oh man, yo, oh my God, thanks for saying that, man. And I'm living with my mom again, or yo, I'm sleeping in my car. And I mean, big people that are out there now were hurting, and no one was talking about it. So we wanted to talk about it. My wife kind of initially regretted it because she was like, oh man, people know our business. I'm like, yo, so what? We got to let them know. But the response we got was so amazing. We had people, we talked to this couple, they were planning on committing suicide because things had gotten so bad, and they saw our show and they reached out to us. It was a husband and wife. They had it all planned. They were going to commit suicide together. And, we got to talk to them, and they saw our show, and they just said, yeah, if they can make it, if they can put it out there, then we can make it. So if it wasn't just for that, if it was just for that, the whole purpose, then I'm cool with it.
That's amazing.
Right. That is amazing, man. And it's unfortunate that we're part of this entertainment, this entertainment world where people can't tell the truth because they don't want to, mess up their reputation or have people look at them different. I think me and you had a conversation about the COVID thing. Like when COVID hit, before COVID, like for me, I was booked 6 days a week as a DJ.
Yeah.
No job, no 9 to 5. I was booked 6 days a week before the pandemic. Pandemic came out, I always told the same story, whether it was on a magazine or what. I lost all my gigs. Literally, I lost everything. And I wasn't the type to put anything, no Cash App up. I wasn't asking nobody. A couple of real friends of mine was like, yo, Trace, you need some, holla at me. But, us as men, we not, what I'm saying? Super, super crazy. Like you down to the wire. Like you're not going to take that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand, man. And I appreciate you for being who you are, and your family for being who they are, man, and putting that out there for people. You know what I'm saying?
The pandemic, man, it really taught a lot of people, man, and it really made us get back to the basics. And now, we outside, and everybody going back to what they used to do. Everybody going back to being fly, and everybody, and I'm watching it. And I'm like, wow, did we not learn a lesson? And when that little shutdown happened the other day, didn't bother me one bit. I didn't even know it was shut down.
I was doing a golf gig.
I didn't even know it was shut down at all. I was like, oh, word. I was like, wow. And I put in my story. I was like, first I was like, oh man, it was a shutdown. I was like, man, I'm like, man, this book is amazing. Like I was reading, and then the second one I put, I was like, man, it's the shutdown. Social media almost caused people to be real and humble again. And
I would have loved that.
Yeah, it's a culture, man. It's a culture that it works for you. It's good, but I think it's really caused a difference in people's their character and their attitude and
their actual status.
In their actual status, and like I said, I knew people that was struggling, that was posting, they was balling when we were doing our show and talking about what we went through. And I'm like, yo, I just had a conversation with you. Why are you posting this? It's not like that. But yeah, I see that. Some people that I connected with, and I really thought like was connected. I was connected during the pandemic. Oh, my brother. And then now it's, you can't get a response.
It's crazy.
A text. Crazy. I'm just like, wow. I'm like, really?
Right.
I'm like, okay. So I just focus on me, man, and what I'm doing. I got a couple of things in the works, man. Right now, I got two new shows.
Wait a second. That's what I was about to ask. Like, we already spoke about your past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gave some insight on some things that we probably didn't know, or some of your fans didn't know. You know, now, like, what's new? What's new with Flex, man? What you working on?
I got a couple things cooking. I can't. I just say I got a couple.
Yeah, we get one exclusive here. We always get exclusive. Yeah, we got a little exclusive.
Hey, the ink ain't dry yet, so I can't. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. But as soon as the ink is dry,
we can get you back on here.
I promise you to be back on. Definitely, as soon as it get dry, and that's with everything. I have 2 other things outside of the reboot. You know, I'm working on. The reboot isn't done. We're talking, and it's progressing well. So I'm just hoping that continues to go well, because you know we need it. The culture needs it, and these other 2 shows that I have are going to be, again. I like to do things that affect the culture, things that mean something. That's why One-on-One for me was important. You know, about a single dad, you know, of a teenage daughter. It was based off of one of my boys from Harlem. You know, he was a single dad at a young age. And we was like, yo, man, how you going to do that? How you going, we out here chasing, how you going to do that? How you going to have a good life? Not thinking, because we were young. So that's where that birthed from. So everything I do, I try to have an impact. So these other 2 shows that I got are going to be, they're going to be something else. So but as soon as the ink dry, I'll let you know.
Right. Well, if there's any parts that me and Epidemic could audition for DJ, let us know. We come out, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, I gotta hear Epidemic got to talk more. He got to talk.
we've been trying to say this for like 5 years already.
Yo, Flex, real quick. Around the same time that you was out, there was a guy on BET, I believe it was, that was Flex on the Street. Did you get a lot of any type of cross miscommunication with that Flex also? Anybody
Flex on the Street? I never even saw that.
Oh, you never saw that show? Oh, you never watched it?
Never saw Flex. I never even heard of that.
Flex on heard of that? Yeah. Oh, I never heard of that.
I never heard of that.
Right? It was Flex on. I'm not sure if that's the name of the show, but it was something like Flex. He was like running around. He was on the street. He was on BET. He would interview people, would do a little stuff. He was like a little comedian too. But
I remember what you call it. My man. What was his name? He was doing pranks and skits and stuff before, and then Ashton Kutcher brought him on Punked. What's the brother name? Tall, slim brother. Oh my God, I forget his name, but he wasn't called Flex on the Street though. He would do stuff like that. He one time he just walked up into somebody's house and started cooking. It was hilarious. But that was on BET. But yeah, I don't remember Flex on the Street. I don't remember that. Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
yeah, I don't know about that, but I definitely have you know, the Funk Master Fly had people reach out and think I'm Funk Master, and I'm like, no,
that's crazy.
And no knock on Flex. I've known Flex for forever, but I'm like, nah, I'm this Flex, the original Flex, the original Flex.
Yo, but real quick, Epidemic and PREZ. I actually got an exclusive. I'm gonna see if Flex gonna let me say this. You know what I'm saying? But Flex was actually supposed to be out here in New York, and I was going to surprise people with him DJing at my spot. You know what I'm saying? Like that was supposed to happen. But the invitation's still there, Flex. Anytime you come into New York, we got spots all over the place. It don't even take not even but a word for you to say. You know what I'm saying?
No, I still plan on doing that, man. I just, you know, things popped up, and like I told you, you know, my mom is you know, fighting through COVID right now. She's doing well though. She's doing very well.
Prayers to you, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, she's doing well. So, you know, I'm you know, getting her through that, and I'm supposed to be out there, but now I have to push back because I'm you know, just quarantining. I mean, we're all fine. We're negative. We're fine. I got her quarantined off, you know, in her room. But I just want to, you know, give people that, you know, that 14 days and not be around. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Right. No, I definitely want to get you on the set, man. I think, like, I've heard you so many times through the pandemic, man, and I really think you're a great DJ, man.
Man, I appreciate that, man.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, man, your transitions, man, the music that you pick, just everything that you do on your live, man. I salute you, man.
Man.
Right, man. If there was awards for these things on Instagram through the pandemic, man, you would have got one of the highest awards, man.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I enjoy it. Like I said, I mean, you ain't gonna get me spinning backwards and doing. I ain't gonna do all that, but I know how to put a vibe together. I know that.
Yeah. I gotta say this for the DJ culture. I gotta say, there's a lot of celebrities out there that act like DJ and they really don't sound too good. Yeah. But I will vouch for Flex. Flex has been telling me all the IG since the pandemic. Were you doing it before?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I was doing it before, like 2015, 2016. And one of the early cats who was doing it then actually was Kid Capri. That's another cat that I look up to. That's my homie from, he literally used to live.
Red Alert.
Red Alert, yeah.
Red Alert was streaming before anybody.
Yeah, and Kid he lived right around the corner from my grandmother, man, off of Kingsbridge Road in the Bronx. So much love to Kid Capri and salute to him. Yeah, those cats, those are all inspirations, and I'll never ever claim myself to be at their level, man. I just love to do what I do, and that's it, man. Those dudes I've been looking up to for years, man. I go back. I got to see Grandmaster Flash in the park. I used to be in the park when they, plugging up the power to the light pole to have power, and the cardboard was out there, and I'm out there, boom, doing my joint. You know what I'm saying? And all them cats, Charlie Chase, and all them cats.
I'm with you. I was about to say his name. Like, I actually opened up for Charlie Chase, Cold Crush, at Throwback Tuesdays with Tony Touch. I did that.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait a minute. What about that? I can't forget Tony Touch, man. Tony Touch, Louis Vega, all them cats, man.
Grand Wizard Theater, Throwback Tuesdays, like doing all that, man. Oh, man, like you just can't. You gotta leave that right there. You can't even touch it. Leave it alone. You get it?
Yeah.
That's that, man. But I ain't gonna lie, man. If there was a versus, I would like you to go up against Shaq. Flex versus Shaq, you know what I'm saying? Let's see who's gonna win this, man, for real. Shaq be on the 1 and 2s too, sometimes.
Yeah, I saw that a couple of times, man. I saw he did a couple of big clubs in Vegas, and they were talking about one time his equipment went out or something happened. I don't know, but I don't do playlists, man. I don't do pre-recorded playlists. Not saying that he does.
Right.
It's a lot of cats.
I see you rock out. I mean, unless you want to go up against Paris Hilton.
And listen, I know about her. Her whole playlist is already done. Her whole set. It's like if somebody does it, and she just hits play and be back there like.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I know in the beginning, I don't know about now, but I know in the beginning, and she was getting like 250, yo. Oh my God.
250 grand, man. For what? 1 hour set?
Crazy.
Crazy.
It's so crazy to hear Trace talk about you so highly in the DJ world, and for you to even talk about how far your DJ, goes back. Because again, and I apologize for not being up to date, but I just know so much of the soul planes, and I know so much of the TV, and I know so much of the history of the TV that I'm a fan of that for so much growing up on it, because I hold things like that valuable. Even telling my nieces and nephews, they don't watch TV anymore. Like they don't cut the TV on YouTube. They on these phones, and I'm like, we had our favorite shows. We could list all these shows that we had and we loved, and to hear Trace big you up in this world, I feel like you got the best of both worlds, man, and that's amazing. Man. Salute to you. In both aspects.
I appreciate it. I tell you, man, Flex is one of the guys that I've met through my DJ career that's never acted Hollywood with me. I remember we had a drink at Throwback Tuesdays. We took a picture. From that day, we've been cool. You know what I'm saying? On the IG response to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Shows love. Never been Hollywood with me, man. Ever. Never been Hollywood with me, ever, man. You know what I'm saying? Always showing love. So I salute you on that too, man, because it takes a different type of person with different characteristics to be like that. who is from this industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a lot of people
appreciate that.
in this industry ain't like you, man. So I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate, everything, man, for real.
Oh, no doubt, man. I still got a picture. I think that night, so EPMD was there that night. Chuck Chill Out, I think, was DJing too. There was a couple of DJs on that night. So I remember they had that little back patio out there.
Cielo.
Yeah, Cielo. That's right, Cielo. Yeah, man.
I got it wrong the first time. We thought it was something else. But it was Cielo.
It was Cielo. It was Cielo. But yeah, man, like I said, and Friday, for PREZ, if you chilling Epidemic, I'm 7:30 on Friday. I'm gonna hit Twitch and my ID. I stream both because IG be tripping now. So I keep my Twitch on it. It's the same Flex A for real. So if y'all ain't doing that,
send me the link. Whatever we can do to support, whatever it is you're doing.
I'm tapped into the DJ Flex now. I'm just letting you know. I was unaware. I was still on the one Flex. I'm up to date on the DJ Flex now. I'm just letting you know.
Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna send that link.
Right, man. But I know you're dealing with some personal stuff. I don't want to take too much of your time. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule and your busy personal life to be on this show, man. Thank you so much. I gotta send you a pair of Ewings. You know what I'm saying? I gotta send you a pair of Ewings.
I'm waiting.
Right. I gotta send you a pair of, and I gotta send you a case of Bel Air. I'm part of Bel Air now. I gotta send some for you and wife. You know what I'm saying?
I'm ready.
But when I'm in the West Coast, I tell you, the minute I touch the West Coast, I'm gonna hit you up, man. I'm out here, man.
See, you're gonna see the old man part. I'll be in the house. I'm gonna be like, hey, can we meet for brunch?
Unless you got the grill on, I don't mind.
I'll be in bed at 9 o'clock.
Oh man, yo, salute to you again. Thank you, man. Hi to wifey.
Yes, sir.
Salute to you. Real quick, if you could tell people where they can find you on social media, just in case they don't follow you now. Please give out your social media handles.
Social media is Flex A for real. That's Flex A Fo, FOREAL. Flex A for real. That's on TikTok. That's on Instagram, and that's on Twitch. On Facebook, I'm Flex Alexander. Got 2 pages on there. I got a blue check one, and then a public figure, whatever one. And I think that's all I'm on. Am I on anything else? No, I can't keep up with all that stuff. So I try to keep it. I try to keep it simple, man. I be struggling enough just to post stuff. So yeah. Right. And like I said, Friday is normally we do Saturday Soul every Saturday. But this Saturday, I'm gonna be watching that fight. So Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So I'm gonna go on Friday at 7:30. We're gonna do a salute to nothing but the ladies. Nothing but the ladies.
Send that link, please.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna send that to you, definitely. I'll send that to you. Trace, I'll send it to you. Just send it to everybody, man. And I'm always open for suggestion. Hey, Flex, try this or do this. I'm not one of them dudes like, I got it. I'm still learning, and I take everything like a sponge. And like I said, I appreciate everything. So all that.
Right, man. Salute to you. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in to the Fix Show, DTFradio.com. Don't forget, we are celebrating our 6-year anniversary this month on this station. You know what I'm saying? And real quick before we leave, Flex, I got to tell you, you are part of this long list of dope guests we've had this year who held us down on the Fix Show. You, Donnell Jones,
man.
Rock, Adina Howard.
Man.
We done had so many big guests on the show. You are part of that alumni. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody who's been tuned in. 6-year anniversary, October 21st is going down. You know what it is. Salute to everybody who tuned in on Facebook, on YouTube. Shout out to DTF Radio. We are out of here. Yo, Flex, salute to you, man.
Salute.
Yeah, DTFradio.com, PREZ, Epidemic Trace. We out of here.
Hey, let me just want to hear Epidemic say peace.
Yeah, we out here.
Yeah. Right, man. Yo,
there we go.
We out, man.
Peace, yo. Right.
Oh, man. Classic.